Welcome to my YouTube channel and to a small part of my office. Today's video is going to be about 5 things I do every single day to grow my brand, except now that I think about it, I'm rethinking my decision to stand up because this is gonna take a while. So I'm just gonna take you to my beanbag now. That is so much better. Okay, so 5 things I do every day to grow my online business brand. Now, I actually ran a poll in my free Facebook group, and that's how I came up with this idea. I had a ton of people vote for it, and it was by far their first choice. So, number one, and this is going to be a very simple one. Now, you're going to want to stay until the end of this video because I've saved the best for last because I'm a nasty biatch like that, okay? The first one is the simplest one. Show up. I know it took like 5 brain scientists and surgeons to tell me, to teach this to me. That's how complicated it is. But no, seriously, show up. So I think this one is so simple that people actually tend to underestimate the importance of it. And they're like, oh, if I don't show up on social media in a few days, nothing too bad is gonna happen. I'm just gonna like go on vacation, take a break. But the thing is, just because you're going on vacation or taking a break physically from your online presence doesn't mean you actually have to look like you're taking a break. Here's what I mean by that. There's a ton of ways to stay active without actually being active. For example, my audience seems to be thinking that I'm on social media 24/7 when I'm really not. You can pre-schedule your content into something like Social Bee or Buffer or Hootsuite, however you pronounce that last one. You can have an assistant create, well, maybe not create it, but at least repurpose content on your behalf when you're gone. So there's lots of ways to stay active even when you're not physically active in your business. But yeah, for me, it is very important for me to show up at least once every 24 hours because people's attention is so divided these days. You have to understand that if you're not top of their mind, if you haven't reached top of mind awareness, which is a very cool term in branding, then they'll forget about you. And next time you are selling something or you're launching and testing a brand new offer, nobody's gonna bite because people forgot about you. So it's called keeping up the momentum, right? You have to keep up the momentum going. And showing up doesn't have to be anything fancy. It can be a very, very quick live video if the platform that you're on allows live videos, like on Facebook or Instagram or even LinkedIn. You can live stream now. So you can just go live while you're doing something else. Oh, you have a dog, you're walking your dog, great. Turn the camera on, introduce people to your dog. People love that stuff. And just talk about something, give them a tip or tell a story. Oh, you're cooking? Great. That's probably one of the top 3 things people love seeing the most from live videos. They love seeing anything that is behind the scenes of your business or personal life. So anything that you feel comfortable sharing, you can go live and just share it. Do you have a hobby? Do you maybe like gardening or something like that? Well, great, go live and talk to people about it. It doesn't even have to be, because I know you're an entrepreneur, but it doesn't even have to be business related. Because remember, people don't buy from you, they buy into you. So people will end up buying from you because of your personality and because there's something about you, about your story that they can goddamn relate to, okay?
Nice.
You can also obviously just sit down one day of the week or even one day of the month and just batch create videos. Is that a thing? Batch create, batch film, whatever. Just do that. You can film. Imagine I can sit down right now, which I'm already doing, and I'm actually filming a video. So after I film this one, I can just film 3 or 4 more really quick videos. When I say really quick, they can be 2 minutes long. They can be 5 minutes long. Just one tip you want to give to people that you expand on during the video. That's it. And then you can just schedule those to go out once a week for the next 4 weeks or 6 weeks, depending on how many videos you film. Or if you're feeling super lazy today, which I get it, I do too sometimes, just do a story. Instagram stories, Facebook stories, fuck, even LinkedIn has stories. Even Twitter, I think, has stories these days. So Facebook and Instagram are my go-to platforms right now as of filming this. And one of my favorite things is doing stories because stories are the number one thing that people seem to be looking at on Instagram in particular. For me, I found that what works is daily stories, but only once or twice a week posting to my feed. That still brings new people into my world. It still brings me sales. And then on Facebook, I also do daily stories, and I post on my feed if I'm feeling like if I'm on vacation or whatever. I make sure one post a day at least is going out, which really doesn't take that much effort if you have a repurposable content database, which is what I'm going to be filming another video on. So you better tune into that one. And stories can be anything from, like, for example, I can literally pick up my phone if I wasn't filming with it right now, and I can be, hey, what's up, yo? I'm just filming a video for YouTube. I'm so excited. I just relaunched my channel last month. This is only my second video. Here's the link. Make sure you subscribe. Example of a story. Or I can, if I'm not feeling videos right now, I can just post a photo on the story about something, maybe from a trip that I took last year, or maybe from something that I bought from Black Friday, or maybe you can be super ultra lame and boring and just post a photo of your food. Like, literally, even that. I mean, some people might disagree, but even that is better than just nothing. Okay, as long as you achieve that top of mind awareness and people see you there in the little circle on the story every single day, that's a success. And of course, you can also just show up and create an actual written post, which I find that is right up there with live videos, the thing that people dread the most. But again, having a content database so that you don't always have to create original content and you can repurpose really tends to help with that. Now, the second thing that I do every single day to grow my brand is going to be quite surprising because I haven't really ever seen anybody else do this. So it's kind of weird. Reviving old content. So this is something I do pretty much on either a daily basis or almost a daily basis. And what I do is, when you've created a really important piece of content on social media, like let's say Facebook, Instagram doesn't quite work like this, but on Facebook and LinkedIn as well, I believe, the algorithm works in a way where if you comment or if somebody comments on an older piece of content, the algorithm basically pops it back up for people to see, because the people in your audience are going to be, especially those who've already seen it in the past, commented or liked it, are going to be notified that something else is happening. So maybe they'll comment again, which then opens it up to their audience to see. So it's like a chain of stuff that happens just because you decided to revive it. So what you can do is literally, if you've, let's say I've done a live video 6 months ago where I told my story, and I haven't really done a live video telling my story since then, not to that extent at least. So what I can do is I can go and comment on it and say, I just wanted to say thank you so much again for watching this video. I would love to hear one part about my story that you could really relate to. Tell me in the comments below. For example, or let's say you have a new lead magnet you want to share with your audience. Hell yeah. You can then go and comment and say, as a thank you to everybody who's seen this video and heard my story up until now, here's a free gift for you. And then also a way for you to get people on your email list. So it's a win-win, baby. You can do that with videos, and you can do that with written content. Definitely on Facebook. I think also on LinkedIn. Sadly, Instagram doesn't really work like that, because if you comment on an old piece of content, it won't exactly pop up on people's feeds. But hey, Facebook alone, if you're a service-based entrepreneur, then you're definitely on Facebook. And if you're not, you probably should be. So it's going to work for you. Now, the third thing that I do every day, market research. So I find that people don't do nearly enough market research. And that's one of the top 3 reasons. That's 4. Hey, can you tell I'm bad at math? That's one of the 3 reasons I've identified behind, I wouldn't call it a failure, but let's call it setbacks in terms of sales and launches. So doing market research can mean so many things. It could mean just having conversations with your audience, whether that's on private message or on a post somewhere, which is either on your wall or on their account or on somebody else's account. It could mean creating short content posts that I like to call conversation starters, which is usually a 1-sentence. How did your Black Friday offer do? For example, what's your favorite book? Believe it or not, that actually matters when you are creating your ideal client avatar. Both of these things matter. You can also do a poll. You can run a poll. So you can run polls in free Facebook groups. You can run them in Instagram stories, Facebook stories. I believe you can also run them on Facebook pages, but they're constantly changing things, so who knows by the time you watch this what the hell you can do or cannot do. But polls are a great way to have this indirect conversation with people, because they won't necessarily comment and enter into a discussion, But people love voting in polls because it only takes a split second to do so. This is how this video came to life, after all, from a Facebook poll in a free group. Now, market research could also mean stalking your followers, not in a creepy, disgusting way, just where you track things like their language. So their language, understanding their language is incredibly important and something a lot of people don't do. So finding out how do they discuss, what words and phrases do they use to talk about their dreams, their goals, their desires, their challenges, their setbacks, what do they consider a failure, all of those things. You should have a database of that, because then you can take those words and phrases and put them on your sales pages and use them in your messaging anywhere from physical events and presentations you do on stages to that next masterclass you're doing, to your actual written content in your live videos. You should be using the same language they're using, because that's the best way that you're going to establish that connection with them. Market research could also mean competitor analysis. Again, something people don't do enough for whatever reason. So it could again mean just following your competitors and figuring out, okay, so what did they do for Black Friday? What did they do? They have a Christmas offer? Do they do discounts? What was the last launch they had? Was it successful? What messaging did they use? Are there any gaps in their offers that I can identify? That's probably the most valuable information you can get, because then obviously you can use that and launch your own offer filling that gap. You can go into their free Facebook groups and figure out what questions do people tend to ask them, because obviously those are the questions you can then use. Literally, you can take those questions and create content around them. I never want to hear that you're running out of content ideas, because there are so many ways to get them, and this is just one. I personally go as far as to dropping money and spend and just investing in my competitors' stuff so that I can actually see, well, is this, I mean, that's a very subjective bias thing, but is this superior to what I am offering right now? And then that's an even better way to identify gaps. So I bought a bunch of my competitors' programs and courses teaching membership sites and branding. And that is how I built my own recurring revenue program, for example. I must have invested thousands of dollars just to see what my competitors' frameworks were. Then I developed a completely different framework and filled all the gaps that I found in their offers. And that's why the recurring revenue program has done so spectacularly well. And market research could also mean something as simple as reading a book. Oof, I know.
Are you sure about that?
Reading books seems to be a thing of the past for a lot of people, because, I don't know, we've become so lazy. But you can also listen to a book, or you can listen to a podcast. Anything that you can do to get to know your ideal clients better is accepted. There are no right or wrong ways really to do market research. It's just about doing multiple things. And personally, for me, what matters is doing it every day. Because if I fell off the wagon and don't at least have a conversation with somebody from my audience once a day, or don't, track the way they speak and add a new word they're using to my database, or find out something about my competitors, then I feel like, oh no, then I'm going to keep not doing it because I'm going to lose the habit. So building the habit was hard enough. I don't want to lose it and have to rebuild it again, because that's going to be a bitch. Now, I think we're up to number 4. That's a simple one. We're getting to the best part. So number 4 is finding new ways to serve my clients. So here's an example for you. I am literally filming this video at the end of my mini Black Friday launch today. Yesterday, and I just got the data from it, and we added 34 or 35 new people into my world, which is what I truly care the most about. But we also added more than $50,000 in sales just from a 3-day, not 3D, maybe soon, event that I ran on Black Friday called the Membership Domination Chronicles, which I probably will run again next year because it was so spectacular. The conversion rate was incredible. And what I did was, literally my first thought when I make something work in my business is, yes, now I can teach it to my inner circle. My inner circle, if you don't know, there's a link down below for the waitlist. It's called the Badass Brand Squad, aka BBS. And They are basically my business family. They're the people that I share everything with, the setbacks, the successes. And whenever I nail something like a brand new launch framework, like I did just now, the first thing I do is I turn it into a masterclass and I go and teach it to them live. So for this one, that was my first thought, and I already have written down the structure of a masterclass, and I'm gonna run it in a couple of weeks for them to make sure that they can start 2022, because currently it's almost December, that they can start 2022 with a brand new launch framework, apart from the other ones that I've already showed them. And that is invaluable. So when you spend most of your time identifying ways to serve your existing clients instead of focusing, I would say it should be 80% being focused on serving your existing clients versus 20% marketing in order to get new ones. I truly believe that. Obviously, if you're in the very beginning stages of your business, those numbers are slightly different, maybe 50-50. But you should never go below 50% of your effort spent on that. Because what people don't realize is, well, obviously, basic business school 101, it's much cheaper to retain an existing client than to attract a new one. Keep selling to the existing client, obviously, but more importantly, when you do that, your intention your retention rates increase, because obviously people stay as your paying clients longer. And if your business like mine, a big chunk of your business is based on a recurring revenue model, aka a membership site, then retention rates are everything. That is by far the most important thing, but it's not the only thing, because your retention rates increase, thus, I've always wanted to say the word "thus." So posh. Thus, also people are so happy that they spread the word. So never underestimate the power of word of mouth. Your business should absolutely not rely on that. But when you serve your existing clients so well, they will scream about it to the world, and they will bring new people into your world. And that's where you can set up things like, affiliate schemes and stuff like that. But yeah, never underestimate this. It is crucial in any business. And finally, number 5, every single day, and it's gonna sound pretty basic, but every single day, I take a step that is aligned with my ultimate goal. So here's what I mean. What I do is I sit down every December of every year and I map out my goals for the next 12 months. Now, you may have a 5-year plan, maybe you have a 10-year plan. That's all good. I like to have an ultimate plan for like 10 years from now, but then I sit down every December and I break it down into 12-month increments. That's really important to me. So I'm about to be doing that soon. So I sit down every December and I map it out. So I begin by, okay, here's my revenue goal for after the next 12 months, right? And here's how that contributes to my ultimate goal for the next decade. Okay, so now let's reverse engineer my steps from that. This means that next year I can pull this off by maybe having 4 launches or 6 launches or whatever. So let's say I decide I'm gonna launch 4 times next year. So then I reverse engineer things from that. What am I gonna launch at what price point to make sure that I fulfill these income goals? How much budget, because I personally run ads. You don't have to factor that in at all. I didn't run ads until I was making multiple 6 figures in my business. So if you're not there yet, no need to think about ads really. So then I decide things like, how do I price these offers? Am I doing a Black Friday sale? Am I doing a Valentine's Day sale, a Christmas sale? If yes, then am I discounting this? Every single action you take in your business needs to be aligned with the ultimate goal. There should be no such thing, and this is something my clients have done a lot before they come into my world, but there should be no such thing as, oh, I'm feeling like a spontaneous Valentine's Day sale. No, you should have planned this months ago. You should have already known if it was happening, because the moment you start doing spontaneous shit like that in your business is the moment things start going downhill. And just my luck, that is exactly the moment where my video cut off because I just didn't have enough space on my iPhone. Thank you, Des, for being lazy for the last 6 months and not deleting a single goddamn thing. However, luckily for both you and me, because I really did not want to refilm all of that, it literally cut off with only about 10 seconds left. So what I was trying to say is, don't do spontaneous shit in your business, because it will be your demise. In the beginning, it's gonna feel cool because you're bringing in some extra cash, but after a while, you'll notice that you have lost focus and you're not planning your actions well enough in advance. So it's very easy to get lost in that. And I've seen too many people get lost in that. So ultimately, don't do it. The end. That is the end. That is literally all I wanted to say before it got cut off. Ugh. Anyway, let me know in the comments below what part of this video was the most valuable one to you. Like it, share it with friends, and subscribe to this channel, because I'm sure there's going to be lots of more times where something hilariously embarrassing happens. Welcome to my life. Now I gotta go to pole class. So bye.